Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. And the Brian Craig Show podcast is brought to you by Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. Online at laportaroofing.com. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. laportaroofing.com. Okay, we got a lot to cover. A lot has happened. I wanted to talk just for a minute or two here about Sonny Hostin blocking me on X. Or Twitter, whatever you call it. And
X.
Yeah. Some people still call it Twitter, but it's X. I take that as a major badge of honor that Sonny Hostin from The View even knows who I am to block me. So I feel like I've risen to another level, where the Coven of The View has me on their radar. But her blocking me, Sonny Hostin, and it's not just about Sonny Hostin. It's about all of the left-wing media this week and their meltdowns with the re-election of President Trump. By the way, if you want to follow me on X, Brian Craig Show on X. Don't block me like Sonny Hostin. I'm going to tell you guys something that those of you that are longtime listeners may remember. Most of you will not be aware of this and may be shocked at this and may not understand why I did this, but I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to tell you why I did it. When Barack Obama was elected for the first time in 2008, can you believe it's been 16 years since Obama was elected? That was a really, really controversial presidential campaign. And I did a lot of stuff on the air really exposing him. I went out and got the audiobook edition of Barack Obama's autobiography, Dreams from My Father. I remember when you
did that. I remember that.
And Barack Obama narrated it himself. And I listened, and I got it. This is how long ago it was, 2008. I got it on CD, and it was like it was a multi-CD set. I don't remember how many CDs. And I spent a week when I was driving around. I remember at the time I had my Jeep Wrangler and I always had the top off. So I'm driving around South Florida in my Jeep Wrangler with the top off, listening to Barack Obama talk about himself on my radio. People must have thought I was nuts. But what I was doing, he said a lot of very controversial things, a lot of terrible things directed very specifically towards white people, some very racist things. He talked about all kinds of things like eating dog meat. Okay, when he was a child, and describing how it tasted.
I thought liberals said that people don't eat dogs and cats.
Obama did, and he talks about it in his autobiography. So what I would do is when I heard something like him talking about eating dogs and describing the taste,
oh my goodness,
saying very incredibly racist things about white people that take cruises, okay, I'd write down the time. And then when I would get home, I would take it off the CD,
what
get
do
the
you say
soundbite.
about white people and cruises?
Well, it's very complex. I don't get sidetracked. But I would take all these things. I would make a note. This is what he said and when. And then I'd get home. I would take the audio off. And I was playing all these sound bites on the radio, okay? So people could get to know the real Obama. And it was not nice. Oh, with the cruise ships, he said it was about how much – it was – I can't remember the exact words now. It's been 16 years, Kathy, okay? But it was about he's very specifically said white people, how much food he said white people on cruise ships waste more food in a day than people in Port-au-Prince have in a month or something like that. It was very racist stuff. So and his autobiography was filled with these things. Then we had Jeremiah Wright. There was all kinds of stuff, okay, about Obama. And it was a very, very, very controversial campaign. The day after Obama won, Steve Kane and I did this. And this will sound crazy to you people, but I'll tell you why we did it, because we know what we're doing. We came on the air the day after the election when Barack Obama was the president-elect. And we said this: everything that we've talked about with Obama up until this point, we're not going to bring that up. Okay? We're not going to bring that up now.
I remember. Yeah.
We're going to start fresh. And we did this for about 6 months. We put a time on. I can't remember how long it was, 6 months or a year. I don't remember how long it was. But we said for the next 6 months, he won. We lost. That was it. okay? We got to deal with it. We got to accept it. We went over all this stuff from his autobiography, Jeremiah Wright, all this stuff. And, of course, I had a longer list because it was happening at the time and it was fresh in my mind. And Steve Kane and I said, we are not going to talk about any of these controversial things that happened during the campaign before he was elected for at least 6 months. We're only going to talk about things that happen involving Barack Obama starting now and moving forward. We said we're going to give him a chance. Now, we weren't really giving Obama a chance. We knew he was a left-wing racist socialist and he would give us new material. But but we said we lost. It was a very rough campaign. We're going to start with now, and we're going to take issue with what he does moving this point forward. And it didn't take long. I mean, he's a socialist. He's a Marxist. You got to accept your defeat. And actually what that did, I'll tell you what that did. It gave us a lot of credibility with people that, okay, we're going to give the guy a chance. It was kind of tongue-in-cheek on our part. I don't know if people listening realized that at the time, but because we knew he was going to screw up and, like he was trying to nationalize the entire healthcare system and all that stuff. So that's what we did. Now, this week, this thing with Sunny Hostin and The View, her blocking me, which I love. Rosie O'Donnell's blocked me as well. She blocked me a long time ago. There's other celebrities that have blocked me that are liberal, including Jerry Ryan, who plays 7 of 9 on Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she blocked me. Will Wheaton blocked me, because they're liberal. A lot of famous people. Well, I don't know if you can call those two famous. But the people that are famous have blocked me.
But you are followed by Scott Baio, Roseanne
Barr,
and Sabato Jr.,
Eric Trump, and a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of people. But anyway,
not that it matters.
No,
it
matters. It matters. It matters.
You think so?
It matters. They know me. They know who I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh my God, you're getting insufferable.
No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. The thing about it is, the way that all of the liberals in the media have reacted this week is not how Steve and I acted back in 2008. No. Believe me, we were not happy that Obama won. It sucked, okay? We didn't know. We didn't.
Even when Biden won the last time, it was a very difficult time.
Yeah, sure was.
I mean, I think 2020 was probably one of the toughest years to be MAGA.
Because they were rounding us up.
After J6,
putting us in prison.
It was a tough year. But this year was definitely the toughest year for Trump. I mean, he was. They almost tried to kill him, or they did try to kill him. They almost killed him. He was arrested. We all know this stuff. But I tell you, I saw a video today on TikTok of him. Somebody put it on that was at Mar-a-Lago. That they had like an election party, and he was dancing, and he looked like the happiest guy in the world, and it was so nice to see.
Absolutely. So
he deserves it.
So the way that the liberals have been reacting in the media is the complete opposite that Steve and I acted in 2008. And what none of them are doing, they're blaming different people. They're blaming Biden for the loss. They're blaming George Clooney for the loss.
They don't know what to do.
The Democrats lost for a lot of reasons, okay? And this is a very incomplete list. But they lost for reasons that they will never accept. One, they have been saying for the last several years with this critical race theory that white people are born racist. It's in our DNA, that an innocent baby that is 3 seconds old is racist. Yeah. There's nothing we can do about that. We must take a knee and get and worship minority people and just do what they say. They're telling women that are athletes, including girls that are in high school and college, as well as their parents, that they have to let men compete in girls' sports, even if they're 6'3" and have a fully functional penis. They should be allowed to walk around naked in the girls' locker room.
Insanity.
They should be able to beat them up at the Olympics in the boxing. They and if you disagree with that, you're transphobic. Right. They've been telling men that they're anti-woman and that they need to be the woman in America, and it's women's time to be the leader and be the man. All these things. They've been going again. They've been promoting racism, sexism, and telling us that if you disagree with these assessments of you, that you are to be silenced, canceled, and have no place in our society.
They're anti-women. Trump just appointed the first female White House chief of staff.
Ever.
And they say he's a misogynist. Meanwhile, they let boys compete against girls in sports. That's not sexist, misogynistic. And here's the thing. I know it's a small percentage right now, and Trump's going to put an end to it. But if you have daughters and you're getting them in sports is not cheap. My cousin's son is in hockey. Let me tell you that it is expensive. The money they spend on him
and
in
the
Canada,
swimmers, the same thing.
It is. It costs money. It's a sacrifice. It's and you're going to put all that money and time and energy going to games for your daughter to be on a volleyball team in 10th grade, and then some team comes along with a 6'2" guy with long hair saying he's a girl, and that's it. I mean, that's not right. That's anti-woman.
And on election day, when I was watching live video of the different polling locations around the country, it was almost all men.
Oh, yes.
And these polling locations.
The men came out.
And men in this country, even Democrat men, they rose up and they're tired of I was talking about
fed up.
I mentioned this on the radio on Friday, but I want to talk about it here a little bit to illustrate what I'm talking about, okay? I was watching this show last weekend on Paramount Plus. It's called Lioness. It's really a stupid show. It's got
then why do you watch?
Nicole Kidman.
I don't know why you watch shows you don't like. I never understood
I like
that
bad
about
TV.
you.
It's called Lioness, and it's got Nicole Kidman, who has had more cosmetic surgery than any other living person on Earth, and it's all bad.
That's for sure.
And that Zoe Saldana, who
I like her.
Yeah, I like her. She played her in those new Star Trek movies a few years ago. And they're a special CIA military unit, and all the women are in charge of these military units. Like they got a platoon going into battle.
It's absurd.
A woman's in charge. They go into combat. The women are the heroes. The men are hanging back like, oh, please help me.
That's on every show now.
And Zoe Saldana, whatever her name is, she goes home, and of course she comes home from this battle. She goes home, and she goes upstairs in her bedroom, and her husband, this is the middle of the day, her husband is sitting in the bath, just laying there taking a hot bath, wearing earphones, listening to music. Men don't take baths; they take showers. And some of you may say, "Well, I take a bath." You're very unusual, but if you do, you're in and out. Men don't.
Well, plus that indicates that he's a loser. He doesn't have a job.
No, he's a doctor. He's a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He works the night shift. I guess.
Men don't lay in a bath and listen to music like that. That's a woman's thing. And
I've never known a guy to do that. Ever.
Well, not a heterosexual man that's married with children. Does not do that. Maybe Anderson Cooper does and Mayor Pete, but guys.
Yeah, I could see Mayor Pete taking a bath.
Yeah, but what they've done in television and in movies is that it's like they've gone through all the scripts and everything that was written. They just changed they just reversed the gender. Yeah. So the men are the women and the women are in the male roles. And
so now they're misandrist.
Yeah, and they've done that in society.
Yeah.
And people have rejected every single thing. I give you another example with Trump and MAGA republicanism, okay? Donald Trump, if you went back in time to the Clinton era of when Clinton was president, and you went back to the Republican Party of the early 90s and the 80s, Donald Trump on many social issues would be considered liberal. He did overturn Roe v. Wade, but he's not in favor of outlawing abortion, right? The Christian Coalition Republican era of the 80s and early 90s was about outlawing abortion, okay? The Christian Coalition had a lot of power in the Republican Party in the 80s and the early 90s. Not only were they in favor of outlawing abortion, they were in favor of basically outlawing homosexuality, right? Gay marriage and stuff like this. Donald Trump is not in favor of outlawing gay marriage. He's not against transgendered people. Like he said, Caitlyn Jenner could use the ladies' room at Trump Tower, which Caitlyn Jenner did. No one stopped. But he's not for the sports thing. So what's happened with the Republican Party, there were a lot of issues that the Republican Party of the 80s and 90s supported that were losing issues, that were out of touch with the American people. So those really aren't issues anymore with the Republicans. Do you guys understand what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well,
you get to a point where you got to say to yourself, the American people aren't with us, at least not yet, on these things, and you got to give them up. And what the Democrats
Sending abortion to the states completely eliminated that as a national issue.
Exactly.
Which was a brilliant, I don't think that's why he did it.
Yeah.
But it is no longer a national, that's something now you protest and fight for in your state.
Yeah.
It's no longer a national thing because the national government can't do anything about it.
Yep.
They have no power over that. And that's why it's no longer an issue for these national elections.
And the Democrats...
Might be for a governor or something.
The Democrats are sitting around pointing fingers, and they won't accept that they lost for a lot of reasons. But the main reasons they lost are because the positions that they support are so radically insane that there's no support for them outside of their TV studios.
Oh, Sonny Hostin and Joy Reid are looking like fools because they have been screaming all week that it's sexism, racism, that's it. They don't want to hear anything. Every other pundit is even Van Jones, Charlemagne, all these people are at least admitting where there were mistakes and flaws, and they're talking about what you talk about. And these two idiots, I honestly see, I think they're going to get fired eventually because they are really off the rails with their racist rants against men and white people. It's like out of control. They're even calling black people, Hispanics, and Asians who voted for Trump white supremacists
and anti-black racists.
They're unhinged.
Yeah, it makes no sense what they're doing.
No, they're just totally irrational.
And I'm not giving any advice to the Democrats because I don't want them to get their act together. I want the Democrats to continue to lose elections. But the way they're behaving is it's irrational. And there's also some really good news about this. The Clintons, the Obamas, the Romneys, and the Bushes, and the Cheneys too, they're out. They're done. Obama backed a loser. Okay, and Obama
that's right.
is responsible for this radicalism of the party.
No doubt.
When Obama was first on the scene in the early 90s, he had a PR firm that was promoting him. Remember he spoke at the Democrat convention. Nobody heard of him. And in his original biography, it said Barack Hussein Obama was born in Indonesia. Okay, now, I'm not saying he was born in Indonesia or Kenya. He was born probably.
It's a moot point at this point.
Well, no. But Obama, Obama. This is an interesting thing, Kathy. Obama and Kamala Harris have a common backstory. Both of them radical, foreign parents that are Marxist.
Yeah.
There's something. True. There's someone
there's like a cell somewhere.
We don't know who this is, this individual or group of people, but they're about the same age too. Mm-hmm. There's some connection between Obama and Kamala of some radical Marxist that crafted these two people.
Is elevating them
to be prominent national politicians and elected figures.
That's a good theory.
And because you look at her background, you look at she grew up in Canada, he grew up in Indonesia. The foreign parents, his dad was a Marxist, her dad was a Marxist. Radical Marxist mothers. I wonder
if their fathers knew each other.
There's some connection, and who it is and what the connection is, I don't know.
Nobody made
they're both biracial.
Nobody investigated her background really thoroughly.
Or him.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's obviously pointless now.
They don't want the public to know. No, but what I'm telling you is all of these problems that we're having in all these issues I listed earlier, the train, all this stuff. It's not about promoting those issues, okay? There are evil forces that are behind Kamala and Obama that are trying to destroy America by they're doing it in a number of ways, dividing every demographic group into this country against one another, and feminizing our. There's all kinds of things they're doing. They're destroying us. With this Obama era is what we're in. Kamala's defeat. Okay, this is what I would consider to be the end of the Obama era. Mm-hmm. It's the end of the Obama era is how I would describe it. The Sonny Hostins, the Joy Reids. This is the Obamaism that we've been living through since 2008. And the whole agenda of this era, this Obamaism era, is not about any of these issues. It's about destroying America. Yeah. And it's failed. So
and I saw an electoral map comparison of California from 4 years ago to now, and Trump overturned several counties in New York and California.
5 or 6 in California, something like that.
I would really like to see Scott Presler
turn blue-red.
Focus on New York. I think he could turn it red. I really do. I know he's sticking around Pennsylvania
after the deportations.
But he can go between both states. They're right next door to each other, and that's his thing: registering voters. And I think Lara Trump should have him over the next 4 years work on keep Pennsylvania red and work on overturning New York, because I really think it's possible. California, maybe it's huge though. But I saw Trump overturn. You won't hear this on the news. Several, I mean, like 6 to 8 counties in just the southern, not LA, but just east of LA, like along the coast. It's still all pretty blue, but just east of that, there were a bunch of counties that were blue last time that are red.
Flipped the counties.
They flipped a lot of counties, and if you can look up the 2020 electoral map where they have the color version, and then this year, you will see a lot more red on that map. And this is what's they spent $1 billion on Kamala. In fact, they're out of money. They can't pay their vendors. And Trump said they have plenty of money in the RNC and they would pay those vendors for them if they wanted them to. I mean, that is like the ultimate troll. Like you have no money. He's just high. Like Juanita Broderick tweeted that and she's like, I don't know how I feel about this. She doesn't understand. And I like Juanita. She doesn't understand. He's letting everybody know that they wasted all this money and they got nothing left and they got nothing to show for it. And he's like, we'll pay that bill. You know what I mean? Like, it's like he's making fun of them in a way. Like,
well, he's serious, though.
But he will do it, but he's highlighting. I mean, Trump is on a whole other level.
What? Because they were, I told you.
He has learned so much, I think.
I told you before Election Day that they were spending the money that they had while the campaign was going on, right? Like they were, no one will convince me they didn't pay all these celebrities. I tell you something.
Of course they did.
I found something out today, and it made me understand this celebrity support of Kamala's. I was watching an interview with 2 actors online that aren't really famous, Katie Sackhoff and Jamie Bamber. They were on the Battlestar Galactica reboot, and they were talking about how no actor is getting residuals anymore.
Right.
Which would include, by the way, Harrison Ford, because everything is watched on the streaming services. No actors are not getting residuals anymore. So you've got a lot of famous actors like Harrison Ford.
They need money.
They're not getting Indiana Jones or Star Wars residuals anymore because it's all streaming. So they've been living high on the hog on actors. Let me tell you. A lot of actors of the past.
I would love to know what they paid him.
A lot of actors of the past that are like B-level celebrities or character actors have made tons of money because the residual checks have been so big. None of them are getting residuals. So a lot of these actors, like Harrison Ford, they were endorsing Kamala just for a paycheck. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's good?
Yeah, he made a 2-minute video, and they probably paid him at least $1 million.
Yeah. So I'm not going to spend time talking about Kamala, but the Democrat Party. Okay, this is about the DNC. What's starting to come out today, what Kathy was talking about, and we're going to get more details of this. And if Trump pays the bills, it's going to be very high profile. The DNC that has alienated the majority of the American people. Remember, Trump won the popular vote, flipped these counties in California and New York State and other blue states. They paid Harrison Ford, probably Bruce Springsteen. We know they paid Beyonce millions of dollars and other celebrities, but these regular working people, vendors on the campaigns at these events and everything didn't get paid. That's going to be more negative publicity for the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party, they are leaderless. They have no future leaders on deck. They're rudderless. They won't admit that they're supporting these stupid things that we're all talking about, and which is good. We don't want them to better themselves.
You have people like Bill Maher, all these people saying, we've got to learn and, we made mistakes. We have to take a good look at ourselves.
Not going to happen.
But I don't think that's ever going to happen. I don't think they can help themselves. I think they have crossed that line of radicalism. They have handed over their party, and that faction did not go away.
No.
They're just lying in wait.
Correct.
And it'll fester again. It's like an infection that's never going to go away. It's just going to keep festering.
Yep.
They need a really strong leader, like a president, who reigns this in.
And they got nobody.
It's never going to happen.
They got nobody.
I don't think this party's ever going to come
Good.
back. I really don't.
Good.
And because they can sit here and talk a good game, but, they don't have a villain anymore. So I think
Trump has been totally, I don't know how you would describe it. Not vindicated's not enough. He won let me tell you.
I mean, they're going to be sad because they don't have Trump to kick around anymore.
That's right.
Their whole life revolved around that.
Before the election, all I wanted to win was 270 electoral votes because it was our country was on the brink of collapse, okay, with these Democrats. But on election night, when we found out that Trump won the popular vote, that just it does more than just vindicate him.
I knew the popular vote was definitely
and the vote, they're still adding up. Okay, I don't know.
Check right now.
I don't no. I know where he's at right now. He's gotten more votes as of now than he got in 2020, and in 2020 he got more votes than any other president. Right. So the votes are still coming in.
Yeah.
He has got right now. He's gotten more votes than he did in 2020, and they're still counting.
He has 301 electoral votes. She's 226. They're still counting, like you said.
So the final
are all the states called, or are there still some states that are out?
Probably technically there's some states that are out, but they're and
we're still waiting on the House.
The election's not certified until December by the states. Okay, so it's never in any election. It's never fully certified till December. Okay, but he's gotten more votes than in 2020, and they're still counting. And we're days and days and days after the election day. So this idea of, Project 2025, all this stuff. He's a dictator. The country is where Trump is, not where the Democrats are.
Arizona is the last state left.
Yeah, because of Kerry Lake. They don't want Kerry Lake to win out there.
It's the only state I think that hasn't been officially called.
The ghost of John McCain. She's gained a lot. I don't want to say where she's at right now because it's changing every hour. And if you're listening tomorrow, it'll be off. But
what is going on there? That's always the last state.
They're trying to stop Kerry Lake. That's it. They I don't understand how Trump can win Arizona and Kerry Lake hasn't, but that's what's going on. But the ghost of John McCain. The odds are against her, but she's gained so much in the last couple of days that it's possible as of this moment. I want to tell you guys, the Christmas specials have dropped at MyPillow.com. Yes. And if you go to MyPillow.com, you will see with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, there's huge, huge savings. And you can use our promo code Kane site-wide. I wanted to talk about the sheets, though, because there's a huge new special right now on the flannel sheets from MyPillow. We have, I don't know if we have 6 or 8 sets, not including the Percal, by the way. I believe we have 6 sets of the original 100% Giza cotton dream sheets. We have 2 sets of the flannel, and then we have 1 or 2 sets of the Percal. And the flannel sheets, they're like the 100% Giza cotton dream sheets. Because Mike Lindell uses the best cotton in the world, the flannel sheets, no matter what time of year it is, keep your body the perfect temperature that it needs to be based on the weather.
And if you like to do make your linens like holiday, you could get whatever color you want to go with your holiday quilts. And I love the flannels. They're amazing.
Yeah, so the flannel sheets are at an all-time low right now at MyPillow.com with our promo code Kane at checkout. They are beautiful. They're so comfortable. Kathy and I live in South Florida, and we use them, and we're never too hot. They're perfect. They keep.
No, here when you have them on, you don't always need a quilt. You could the flannel's enough. It keeps you just warm enough, on certain nights it does get super chilly though here. But if you live up north, the regular sheets are fantastic, but I'm telling you the flannels do offer, they're thicker and they, flannel sheets are a little warmer.
Because Mike Lindell uses that Giza cotton with his sheets, the best cotton in the world, both the Giza cotton dream sheets and the flannels keep your body the perfect temperature that you need it to be no matter what the temperature is. And the flannel sheets are so soft and just feel so good. Maybe we should put them on the bed tonight.
Yeah, I might because
they're so good.
They do feel good.
I love them. All right, so go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, and remember free shipping on orders over $75. All right, we're going to take a break. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
Are you 55 and feel like life's best moments are in the rearview mirror? Think again. Author Michael Cook will show you that turning 55 is just the beginning of a vibrant, fulfilling journey in his book, Over 55 and Alive. With humor, heartfelt stories, as well as actionable, practical advice, author Michael Cook will take you on a transformative path through the joys and the challenges of this milestone. When you read Over 55 and Alive, you'll discover how to embrace change, foster meaningful relationships, and unlock new passions. You will learn how to thrive physically, mentally, and emotionally in your golden years. From maintaining your health and building resilience to finding joy in those everyday moments, Over 55 and Alive will empower you to live with vitality and with purpose. Author Michael Cook shares insights on family dynamics, community involvement, and the power of gratitude to create a life that's rich with both experiences and connections. Embrace the future with grace and confidence and order your copy of Over 55 and Alive from author Michael Cook. You will be inspired to live fully and prove that the best is yet to come. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and over55andalive.com. Make the most of every moment. Order your copy today. Over 55 and Alive from author Michael Cook. Work, school, kids. How would you like to simplify your life? Of course you would. Who doesn't, right? But how do you do it? And where do you even begin? That's easy with Goose Printing on Etsy. Goose Printing on Etsy has everything you need to stay organized and live a stress-free life. Imagine this: planning your entire week with ease, managing your budget without effort, or even creating beautiful, personalized birthday invitations, all at the click of a button. Go to etsy.com/shop/Goose Printing. That's GOOST. Etsy.com/shop/Goose Printing. From interactive planners for daily tasks to budgeting tools that will keep your finances in check, Goose Printing has you covered. Want to plan your meals for a week? No problem. Their cookbook and meal planner is ready to organize your recipes. Planning a wedding? Make it flawless with their elegant wedding planner and signs. Stay organized, live stress-free, and take control of your day-to-day life. Etsy.com/shop/Goose Printing. Author Wolf Negev will take you on a journey into the hidden layers of a nation known for its secrecy and power in the book Saudi Arabia, What Lies Beneath the Sands, available on Amazon. In Saudi Arabia, What Lies Beneath the Sands, you'll learn how a football game between Saudi Arabia and New Zealand in 1981 became a tool in a high-stakes political game. Learn about the complex pyramid of power in Saudi Arabia, from the royal family to foreign workers, and how the Saudi government exploits social divisions to remain in control. Saudi Arabia, What Lies Beneath the Sands pulls back the curtain on Saudi society, exposes economic issues, religious influences, and the clever use of sports to distract from political unrest. This book leaves no stone unturned. Available on Amazon in Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. Take a daring exploration of a country at a crossroads and order your copy right now. Saudi Arabia, What Lies Beneath the Sands, from author Wolf Negev on Amazon. Take a thrilling adventure through Alaska's Chilkoot Trail. Join Pearl, her brother Francis, and their new friend CJ in author Susie Wilcox's new book, The Secrets of Chilkoot Trail, available on Amazon. This summer, Pearl and Francis are hiking with their adventurous grandparents. But there's a twist. CJ, a foster kid their grandparents are caring for, is joining them. As they trek into the forest, the kids encounter a mystical creature called a Grugle, who leads them on an unforgettable adventure. The Secrets of Chilkoot Trail is perfect for young readers, and you teachers, it makes a great addition to your classroom reading collection. The book even includes questions for teachers on science, vocabulary, and comprehension. The Secrets of Chilkoot Trail from author Susie Wilcox. Order your copy right now on Amazon, available in Kindle and paperback. This is a story filled with mystery, magic, and the wonders of nature. The Secrets of Chilkoot Trail on Amazon.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at briancraigshow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. All right. So President Trump made a big announcement. He's made a lot of big announcements this week, which is, let's not forget, there was another assassination attempt on President Trump over the weekend.
Go to his website and you'll see all his videos, because I've been posting them on X and people are like, where do I find these? Where do I find these? If you go to his website, he has all his videos where he lays out his agenda 47.
He's been doing it more long ago. But there was another assassination attempt where the guys were arrested on Friday.
Yep.
An Iranian attempt this time again. I know Trump is an anti-war guy, and I don't want to start any new wars, but where's something's got to be done with Iran, and where's Joe Biden? I mean, Iran has had how many assassination attempts on President Trump just in the last couple of months?
I think him and
they arrested that one guy.
Netanyahu will handle that.
No, it's not enough. There was an Iranian arrested who was at Butler to see how the security worked at rallies, who was planning a rally assassination attempt on President Trump. This is all about Trump taking out that Iranian general in his first term. That's why they have these nonstop, endless assassination attempts on Trump. Iran's got to be shut down, and Biden is disgusting.
They gave him all that money.
If Biden
They'll just cut off the money.
If Biden were a half decent president, he would come out immediately.
Well, that's what Trump
said. And tell Rod, when Bill Clinton.
Well, now Trump can do it. He's the president-elect.
We can't do anything now. When President Clinton was first elected, he was president like a month, maybe two. Someone will look up and say it was 3. Well, I'm sorry, it was 1993, guys. Give me a break. It's 2024 now. But when he first was in office, he bombed Iraq. There was an assassination attempt on H.W. Bush. Clinton was president just a few weeks. H.W. Bush, Bush 41, Bush 2, went to Kuwait. Yeah. And there was an Iraqi assassination attempt on President Bush in Kuwait.
Yeah, I remember.
And Bill Clinton launched a massive strike on Iraq in response to it. Biden doesn't. It's like Trump deserves it the way Biden acts.
Biden doesn't do anything. He's on the beach. Okay, now, so I have breaking news here. 2 things. And I knew this was going to happen. FBI Director Christopher Wray expected to step down prior to Trump's inauguration. This is what you're going to see. You are going to see Trump's not going to have to clean the swamp. It's going to clean itself. You are going to see a massive wave of swamp creatures quitting because they know they're going to get fired. Trump has basically said so. He put that video out there to let them know so they could save him the trouble.
Is he going to move to Argentina?
And
the hideout?
Really. And exactly. That's where they keep them. And Tulsi Gabbard for Secretary of State is trending now. I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't know. I thought maybe Secretary of Defense. Well, the thing with like Chris Wray, that's very unusual, okay? Because people that are cabinet people, like the Attorney General and secretaries, they get appointed by the new president, right? So they're out of work when a new president comes in.
That's right.
The FBI director's on a cabinet post. They have a 10-year term. When you appoint an FBI director, they have a 10-year term.
Well, now he's going to quit.
And for him to resign is a big deal. But President Trump made a big announcement on his website where he's making all these announcements at Mar-a-Lago that he's going to issue immediately when he's president again, because he's just president-elect. He can't do it yet. An order outlawing and banning anyone from the intelligence agencies or the federal government to collude in any way whatsoever with the media.
Well, I got to tell you, there's so many videos there. He's covering so much stuff. If you want to know what he's going to do, and I think I've seen it happening already. I know he's president-elect, but just Trump making these videos is causing things to change already.
They're freaked out.
It's already causing people to react because they know what's coming, and for example, somebody in the EU has already contacted Trump about getting oil from us instead of Russia. They're already lining up for that because they know he's going to open that pipeline. You have governors that are already talking about making it illegal to have boys and girls sports. Things are already happening, and I knew that would be the case just because of what Trump said in these videos.
Mayor Adams cutting off the money to the illegals.
Adams cut off the food card to the illegals.
But what Trump is talking about with the media and the government, CNN and most of the mainstream media are the deep state. Everyone knows this. Candace Owens interviewed a guy a couple of days ago. I watched this interview. The guy's a little kooky, but it's a very good interview. Okay, and as much as I dislike Candace Owens, I mean, but this was a very good interview. The guy is ex-CIA, and he is a CIA whistleblower. He goes through his whole story of how he ended up being a whistleblower. But he was talking about the media's relationship. He gets into a lot of detail about the CIA's control of the media and Operation Mockingbird, and he talks about how they do it. They have hundreds and hundreds of as many as 400 to 500, as according to this guy. There's a CIA guy that Candace Owens interviewed. The major members of the media, and this has been going on for decades, are on the CIA payroll. And the reason they control them, the reason they put them on the CIA payroll is they get them to sign non-disclosure agreements, and if they violate them, it's not just a financial penalty. They go to federal prison, so they get on board. And he didn't say Hannity by name, but he said the one with the CIA lapel pin, and everybody that's definitely he's talking about Hannity there.
Yeah, I've seen pictures with him on his lapel.
He said Bob Woodward is CIA, which I've been telling you guys about for years.
That's probably how a lot of these people get their jobs on the national media is through that connection. They probably get them those jobs.
So most of the national media that's left, CNN, MSNBC, I don't think so much. I'm not saying nobody there, but MSNBC is kind of like fringe stuff.
Oh, they're gone. There's no fixing those people.
The network news, the network nightly news, CNN, and I don't know which others, they're all deep state. The intelligence communities control them. And the reason they control them...
I would even say Fox News with some people.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hannity's the lapel. Yeah. The reason they control them is to get their agenda out, right? To get the CIA deep state agenda out. Well, no,
I haven't seen Hannity hanging around Trump lately. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he was at Mar-a-Lago right before the election and interviewed him.
Oh, well, Trump should be careful then.
Yeah, he should be. He moved right down the street from Mar-a-Lago to be closer.
Maybe he is careful now what he tells him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
As opposed to before.
But the reason that the people in the media make these deals, they're deals with the devil, right?
Yeah.
You know, remember Oh God, You Devil? Mm-hmm. The guy was a struggling musician. He made a deal with the devil to be a rock star.
That's exactly right.
Don't you ever wonder how some of these people with mediocre talent become national figures?
Exactly.
It's because they're CIA, okay?
Yeah, I definitely think that.
Okay. And the CIA, so that's why they do it. They make a deal with the devil. The CIA makes a deal to control them so that the CIA can get their agenda out.
And it's like a lifelong contract.
Yeah.
There's no going back on that.
Signed in blood, literally.
Basically.
And I don't know how enforceable Trump's order is going to be or how cooperative or not they'll be. But I think it's going to be very effective because Donald Trump has been through, we know what he's been through, but there's a lot that he's been through I don't think we realize. And I also don't think we realize the toll that this has taken on him and his family. And I think he's worried about his family when he's out of his second term and when he's gone.
Absolutely.
Because they plan on torturing the Trump family even after President Trump has passed away, okay?
I mean, look at the Kennedys. They're still around. They still have a name, but nobody bothers them. The Trumps are still going to be around. Who else is named Trump? I mean, that's like it's not like Smith or Harris even. That's like, an unusual. I'm sure there are people named Trump, but it's not a common name. So the family is big. He has like 11 grandchildren. He's got 5 kids. So this is a family. He's got 3 sons that will carry on that name. Don Jr.'s got like 5 kids. Eric's got 2 or 3. Barron will have kids someday. Carry on that name. So you're right. I mean, it's something I'm sure on his mind.
Yeah. So, he knows what the problems are now, and he knows what he's got to do he knows what has to be fixed. The draining the swamp, okay? In Trump's first term, he talked about draining the swamp, but I don't think he really knew what had to be drained so much. Now that he's had these terrible experiences for the last 9 years, he knows exactly what has to be done. The problem isn't just Comey and Hillary Clinton.
He knows exactly what and exactly who and exactly why and
exactly.
They've been so open about their Trump hate that it's like somebody turned on the lights on, and you know what I mean, and it's all been exposed.
Exactly.
And so now Trump knows everything. They weren't. We've talked about many times how they weren't even hiding it anymore.
No.
And that's a good thing now, because now Trump knows exactly, how to. And then one person is going to lead to another person. But he said that he is going to he's open up the files and find out who did what and who colluded with these prosecutors and who, like Letitia, and how that came to be. He's going to get to the bottom of all that.
He wants to neuter the deep state, FBI, CIA, NSA, all that stuff. He wants to get them out of the power positions that they're in. And he knows what he has to do it. And that's going to be a major focus of his. Now, I want to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. If you are in the state of Florida, Tom Laporta covers the entire state of Florida. He's a good MAGA guy. He'll never sell you a roof you do not need. He can handle a job of any size, even a condo community with 200 buildings. But he can also help you if you have a small single-family home like Kathy and I have, or you have a big mansion, or you have a commercial building, or you have a municipal building, or a church. He can help on any type of structure. He works with all types of roofing materials, too, covers the entire state of Florida, and he will never sell you a roof you do not need. If you need a simple repair, he will do it. Now, his website is laportaroofing.com, but he gives to our listeners his cell phone number. If you go to his website, his cell phone number is not there. But to our listeners, both here on the podcast and on the radio, he gives his cell phone number. So you can call or text, okay, Tom Laporta. He and I text a lot, so, he'll text you back. I'd call him, but you can text as well. And his response time is quick, okay? Give him a call. Here's his cell phone number. It is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. For Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting and Roofing. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We're going to take a quick break and be right back.
Are you tired of the endless cycle of overthinking? How would you like to recharge your mind and unlock your full potential? You can do just that with the book from author Bart Kahn, How to Stop Overthinking. Master your mind with strategies to overcome stress, break negative cycles, and live in the present. Available on Amazon. Overthinking drains your energy. It creates stress and holds you back from achieving true clarity. How to Stop Overthinking will help you break free from overthinking and take control of your mind. Filled with research-backed strategies, the author will show you how to calm your mental noise, how to regain focus, and build resilience. From proven techniques to break exhausting thought cycles, as well as daily mindfulness habits that enhance creativity and mental clarity, you'll find everything you need to thrive. It'll give your brain a rest so you're more in the present, are clear, and you are ready to handle anything. Are you ready to stop letting overthinking control your life? Take that first step towards mental freedom and the happiness that you deserve. In order your copy of How to Stop Overthinking from author Bart Kahn, available on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and Kindle Unlimited. How would you like to brighten up someone's day? Then check out theluxexpress.etsy.com. That's Lux, spelled Luxx. The Lux Express specialize in hilarious mugs, cups, t-shirts, totes, beach bags, wine tumblers, wall art, and so much more. The Lux Express are all about making the world a happier place, and they're doing it one smile at a time. Whether you're in the mood for a good laugh, a little motivation, or some inspiration, they have something for everyone. They also accept custom orders, so you can create that perfect gift. And make sure to stop by for your holiday shopping too. Use the promo code Brian and save 15% off your order. TheLuxExpress.etsy.com. That's Lux, Luxx. Funny, motivational, and inspirational products. TheLuxExpress.etsy.com. Mike Lindell is offering wholesale pricing for Christmas. The standard MyPillow, just $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. That's right, just $14.88. And free shipping on orders over $75. So go to MyPillow.com right now and use our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and get the standard MyPillow for just $14.88. The lowest price ever. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host, Kathy. I want to tell everyone about Dr. Philip Appleton and his laser away pain treatment. You guys have heard me talk about Dr. Appleton. He's been with us for a couple of years, and he has rid me of pain 6 times. Both of my shoulders, my knee, arthritis, and my finger. And it's amazing. His laser away pain treatment works. We've had listeners travel to Florida from all over the country. It's crazy, huh? Just to see Dr. Appleton and be treated by him with his laser away pain treatment. It works. It's completely painless. There's no injections, no shots, no downtime. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. Dr. Appleton, who has a great bedside manner, very knowledgeable, he does all of the laser treatments himself, not an assistant. He does them himself. And what he's able to do, I don't know how he does this, he's able to isolate. This is what he's done with me when he examines me. Like I use my shoulder as the most recent example. My shoulder hurt all the way around, all the way down my arm into my hand. And he was able to tell me, after just a brief examination, where in my shoulder the damage was that was causing the pain. He treated that with the laser away pain treatment. Boom, pain gone. The laser treatment works on every type of pain I've ever heard of.
By the way, he also told you there was fluid inflammation,
right.
And there were no x-rays needed.
That's right.
You didn't have to go get an x-ray, an MRI.
Correct.
Any of that stuff, which is all extra expense.
No doubt.
He just was able to, which is probably what a lot of doctors can do, but they like to rack up the bill.
That's true.
And he was able to look at it, and just by palpitating, he could tell, and he's treating it, and what he does works.
It does. So let me give you his number. His number is 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, I want to talk about this FEMA director because we have some more information, some more details, and there's a little confusion with some people as to what has happened to this person. I'm going to go through this article. This article was updated over the weekend, and it is from the New York Times. So, this is a liberal paper writing about this liberal jerk. Here's the headline. FEMA fires employee. See, that's where the controversy was. A lot of people don't think they were fired, but they were. It's not enough. This person should be arrested. FEMA fires employee for telling Hurricane Milton, relief workers to skip houses with Trump signs. This is crazy. Again, this is the New York Times. An employee with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, has been fired after reports that in the aftermath of Hurricane Milton, the employee told relief workers in Florida to pass over houses with signs supporting Donald John Trump. FEMA, by the way, has admitted this, so this is not even up for debate.
Which in that area are a hell of a lot.
It's Florida. It's the whole state.
No, this was in North Carolina, I thought.
No, this was Florida.
Oh, well, that's still a lot.
This was in Florida.
Which county?
I haven't gotten to that yet. FEMA confirmed that an employee had advised her survivor assistance team not to go to homes with yard signs supporting Mr. Trump during rescue efforts after Milton hit the state last month as a Cat 3 hurricane. FEMA said the employee, whose name was not revealed, has been terminated, and they should be arrested.
Yeah.
FEMA said that it believed that this was an isolated incident, which is now under investigation. I don't know how isolated it is, if they felt comfortable enough to do it.
So that storm hit the West Coast. It went through, just hit Tampa, okay, which there's a lot of Trump people there. I'm not sure if it doesn't matter. And then it went up through Orlando, up into, the Carolinas and stuff. I think that seems criminal to me, what she did. I mean, that is what we're dealing with. I don't understand how people justify this in their mind, that they believe this is, in my opinion, all the media's fault. I read a story on the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
When Trump won, a guy killed his wife, himself, and his 2 children because Trump won. Can you imagine?
Is that true?
Yes, it was in the Daily Mail. This is the brainwashing of the left, that they're creating this supervillain out of Trump, and they're terrifying people just for political gain. It's really sickening. And I personally feel people like that are on the news should be fired for doing things like, you don't see that happening. People might call Kamala stupid or this, but nobody said she's, like, and make you feel like you're in danger, or they really made him out like a Hitler. Like Joy Reid said he was going to round people up and imprison you. That's crazy. And people believe this stuff.
Since Trump was reelected, okay, and over the weekend here, it's really been getting worse. Liberals are in overdrive with their venom towards Trump. And here's the thing, okay? It's not just that what they're doing is inappropriate. And this FEMA story is like, oh, they fired her, it's taken care of. Give me a break, okay? This is the culture at FEMA, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's many more just like her.
Here's what these people don't understand on the left. Trump has won. He's never going to run for election again. This anger, this hatred towards Trump, they need to tone it down. First off, it's a waste of breath and energy from them, because he's won. They don't know what else to say.
Brian, they
don't know what else to do.
They're
on the
so
air.
filled with hate, these people, and I believe it's really self-hatred. They're just unhappy, and they have to put that hate somewhere. They can't let it bounce around inside of themselves. So they have to put it on something, on someone. And that's how liberals are. And Trump is their beacon. He is who they go to, and the shining light for them to put all their hate in his basket. And they're obsessed with him. They're obsessed. It's become an obsession. It's not healthy. And it's something they just refuse to let go.
Well, I was, those of you that follow me on YouTube, on the weekends sometimes, I go to Starbucks when they first open, and I live stream at the tables at Starbucks. And today I did it, 6 a.m. for about an hour. And let me tell you how things have changed, okay? Including me. In the hour I was there, this is just sitting on the tables in front of Starbucks, right outside. Starbucks have tables outside. This was just at the tables outside of Starbucks, including me. There were 5 people with MAGA hats on in front of Starbucks having their morning coffee today. You never see it. I'm usually the only one.
Somebody took a picture in L.A. at La Spada, which is a very fancy celebrity place, and there was a whole table of college girls, like 8 of them, all wearing MAGA hats. See, people are not afraid to wear their MAGA hats anymore.
Well, you know what it's like? The MAGA people are coming out of the closet.
Right.
A lot of people were hiding it. They were afraid. We're going to be made fun of, we're going to be attacked, we're going to be name called, and now that we won the popular vote, they know that they are the majority.
That's exactly right.
It's that silent majority that Reagan used to talk.
There's that fear is gone.
Yes.
And
no doubt.
Which never should have been there in the first place, but it was because these people were vicious.
Oh yeah.
And the tide has turned. I've never seen anything like this. It's like a huge culture shift that happened overnight. It's really incredible to see.
Elon Musk posted the red state, blue state map on X today, and he had an arrow pointing to all the states that don't require photo ID to vote, all the blue states.
Yep, of course.
There wasn't one blue state that requires photo ID to vote.
By the way, Trump won all swing states. Arizona was called last night. He's at 312 officially, still counting for Kari Lake. But
it's not looking good
he
for her.
won all 7 swing states, so that's amazing. That's an amazing feat,
which is what
there.
the polls said.
Yep,
the polls were right at the end. And this thing that every blue state does not require photo ID, and no state was blue. That there were no blue states that require photo ID. I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but that tells you everything you need to know. So that's where really the move has to be. You know, when I voted here in Florida, you have to sign, and your signature has to match your driver's license. Well, I got my driver's license so long ago. You know what I mean? It's so difficult, but I had to look at the driver's license and match my signature, the best I could to my driver's license. But the photograph is me. It's me. They checked it. They checked it closely. They looked at it a couple times in me, and that's fine. And that's the way that it should be. But this FEMA lady telling people not to, and I thought it was in North Carolina too. It was here in Florida. That's not something that she just did. This is something she felt comfortable doing. Like it was no big deal, okay? And that means there's a culture inside of FEMA of political bigotry or maybe even racial bigotry. I don't know what it is. But to not render life-saving assistance to people because of their political affiliation in America, this person could be responsible for the death of people, the injury of people. If she's telling them not to give them help or assistance, who knows what their situation is?
Okay,
there needs to be a
out.
major investigation into FEMA.
She spoke out. She said she's a scapegoat.
A scapegoat? What does that
just came out.
She's a scapegoat for who?
She's a patsy like Oswald, I guess.
Okay, now this is...
this just came out.
This is in the Washington Examiner, which is a very good conservative paper. Okay. A report from earlier this week showed that a FEMA supervisor advised her team to avoid Florida homes advertising Trump. That supervisor said she's a patsy and that FEMA made her the scapegoat. Let's see here. An ad
It's possible. She might have been told to do that from her boss.
She told the Washington Examiner that not only did she and her teams canvass houses with Trump signage, we've registered and provided resources for Trump supporters. The language in the leaked screenshot was shorthand, according to her. She explained the context. She
Baloney.
said, Washington, I'm sorry, her name is Washington. Her last name is Washington, okay? Washington let her supervisors know specific streets we could not do because of hostile political encounters. So that this is such
She assumes Trump people are hostile because she believes the media lies. So if she goes down those streets, they're going to get attacked. Give me a break.
According to communications obtained by the Washington Examiner, she was encouraged and supported in her decision to avoid certain streets to keep her team safe. So they were assuming that because people are MAGA, that they
would be violent.
Exactly. Well,
I wonder why.
That's not going to fly. Washington noted that the next bullet point on the leaked message spoke about de-escalation, which she said was necessary because FEMA workers were having their lives threatened. These MAGA people not threatening their lives.
I don't believe that for a second.
This goes to her bigotry.
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
Still,
it's in her mind.
Yeah, she's hallucinating. Several of these hostile encounters were documented in the media, but Washington is demanding FEMA turn over incident reports showing additional hostilities that resulted in her having to avoid certain streets. The Washington Examiners filed a Freedom of Information Act request.
First of all, reports can be fudged, and people can lie on a report. Okay? I mean, how are you going to challenge that? If you have a FEMA operator and they write up something and make something up, they can make anything sound like it escalated when it didn't. They can exaggerate anything to fit their agenda. I mean, we know this is what liberals do. And I don't like things like that being politicized because people are in need and they need food and water and they need help ASAP, okay? Like immediately. When you have a hurricane come in and destroy your house, you got to find a place to live. I mean, it destroys everything. And this storm had super tornadoes that actually, like a trailer park near my dad's. My dad lives in Stewart in a trailer on the water. He's like in a retired community and he's got like a really nice trailer there and it's all on the water. It's beautiful. And like the next park over was destroyed because I called him. I said, Dad, are you watching the news? He's like, no. I said, there's a huge tornado headed right for you because they had it on the map. He says, well, I better do something. I said, yeah. So he said, I better go. Luckily, it was okay. I said, go to the bathroom. I don't know if that's going to hide in the bathroom, if that's going to do any good in a mobile home. But luckily, he was okay. But like 6 people's trailers got overturned. And when that happens, people die. They have nowhere to go. And they need emergency services right away. So I hate when these things get political. And for her to even talk about politics in her notes, to me is a disgrace
And-
at all. It shouldn't
and-
even be brought up.
And she's still trying to justify, well,
Yeah.
it was dangerous. They were threatening us. I don't buy that at all. Now, I'm not saying that they were not armed. It's Florida, and when hurricanes come, you get your guns out because of
Absolutely.
looters. But they were not threatening FEMA workers. I'm sorry to
No,
tell you.
I've never heard of that happening ever.
So now what she's done, on top of what she did, now she's lying about it.
Yeah.
Not only does this woman need to be arrested, there needs to be a major investigation into this culture at FEMA. Now, I personally believe Ron DeSantis is angling to become the FEMA director. He's very good with the hurricane
He would
things.
be fantastic.
He has
at
2
that.
years left as governor. He's unelectable.
I said that
forever.
years ago. That would be the perfect job for him.
And that may be considered a step down for being the governor of Florida.
It's a huge job.
But I think that he's going to angle. Well, I think what he would first like is for Marco Rubio to get a cabinet post so he thinks he can become the senator. We're not going to vote for you, DeSantis.
I don't think that's going to happen. Like,
No.
Trump did not bring in Nikki Haley or Pompeo.
No.
He is not bringing in any of these people that are part of DC. I mean, he is really not doing that.
I don't
So
trust DeSantis at all.
I don't know if he's even going to bring in any of these, Rick Scott, obviously, but anybody
different.
who has badmouthed him publicly during
That's it,
all
you're
his
out.
trials and all the accusations. Like Mike Pompeo did one interview with Hannity where he criticized Trump and attacked him during one of these court cases. That's it. I mean, Trump watches everything. He said on an interview, I've seen every interview Biden has done. I've seen every interview Harris has done. He said, I watch everything. He does. He brings up stuff that's so obscure that you and I might have been like, oh my gosh, I saw a tweet about that. He knows everything that's going on. And he, I'm sure, has a very long memory. And I don't think after what he has been through and his family has been through that he is going to bring any of
No
these
way.
people into his administration
No
because they're like a poison.
Mhm.
And all you need is one, and they destroy the whole bunch.
That's right. Now, I want to thank our Patreon supporters for their support. And remember, Patreon supporters, you have access to commercial-free editions of all of our podcast episodes. Our top Patreon supporters get a live on-air thank you shout-out. So I'm going to share the names of our top Patreon supporters in a moment. But if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter, there's a link in the description of this and every episode. Here are our top Patreon supporters. I want to thank Andrew and Connie, Christine, ETW, Chuck, D, Pamela, Rick, Nick, Wesley, Macho, Mike P, Carlos, Paulette, John, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Richard, Alice, K-Mac, LeeZep, Shawna, Constance, George, Brandon, Rob and Trish Wilkerson, Christy R, and John S. These are our top Patreon supporters. Thank you all for your support. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Thanks